Hi everyone, this is a video of a one-try league match that took place this morning that I participated in. One-try league is basically Mario Kart 64 time trials. You go head-to-head against another person, picking courses, and you get one try, so no resetting. And you get a point if you win, and there's a score structure with sets and everything. But that's the basics of it. It's time trials, but because you only get one shot at it, it changes your strategies a little bit from if you were just going for a PB. So a lot of these are restreamed. This match wasn't, so I figured I'd just make sort of like restream after the fact by myself. So I was playing ParisianPlayer, and yeah, I guess I'll just get started here. So I had the first pick as the lower ranked player. I decided to choose Koopa Troopa Beach, and the deal is, as the lower ranked player, didn't feel super confident, so I tried to pick courses where my opponent had an opportunity to mess up, and if I just drove it cleanly, I would probably win. Because some of the courses, it's basically just straight driving, and I figured I wouldn't win on that. You can see I don't get a great start. I've been blocking a couple walls, but nothing too terrible. Try using 2 shrooms there to get ahead of the tides, because if you hit the tides at the wrong point, it can really slow you down as you have to go around. I'm not really thinking that my shrooms were that effective in this case, though. Yeah, so you can see my strategy kind of worked out here. Parisian just missed the tunnel entirely, which unfortunate for them, but it's kind of the hope when I made this pick. And not the cleanest driving from me, but at this point, I don't know this because I wasn't watching his stream, but I'm basically just trying to get the tunnel all 3 laps and hope for the best, which is what I did. So, a little bit of a gamble as a pick, but pretty decent start. I remember when I was grinding a year or 2 back, my PB on this used to be 1:23.45. So, a few seconds slower than my current PB, but also for one attempt, pretty good, I think. Pretty good. Not spectacular, but satisfied with it, and got me off to a 1-0 lead. And as you should be able to see on the video, ParisianPlayer's on the left, I'm on the right. The score and sets are actually taken from his Twitch VOD, because he was keeping track on stream and I was just doing that in text. So next course is DK's Jungle Parkway. This is a course I'm particularly weak in, I think. I played against a player last week, Ashley, where this was her strongest course, and she beat me by like 9 or 10 seconds. But the main aspect of this course is this big jump. You want to go as far to the left as possible and then cut across the grass. And you can save or lose a lot of time doing that. The thing is, if you get too risky on the jump, you can fall into the water and lose a good 10-15 seconds. So pretty high risk, high reward scenario. Yeah. And then this hill hop, you can do a triple tap of A to get a faster jump there. It's still something I don't really have down that well, both the hopping and the jump. So it looks like it was actually faster on the first lap, but you can see Parisian gets out to a quick lead here in lap 2. Just generally cleaner driving, I think. Yeah, didn't see any huge mistakes, just kind of messy This past week, I knew I had this match coming up, but I've also been de-rusting in Mario Kart. Haven't played very much over the past year and a half or so, and I really wanted to get a PB, a non-shortcut one, because that hadn't happened in a long time. And I spent most of this week playing Choco Mountain and cleaning up my lines there and not really focusing on the other courses, so fairly rusty. But all in all, I don't think that really made a difference on this course in particular, because never been my strong suit. Yeah, I'm pretty much happy with like a sub 2 minute for a one try, and 157 would be an extremely good time for me. So even if I had a great race and practiced this a bunch, I don't think I would have matched. So well-earned point by Persian there. So then at this point it's 1-1, and you know, I kind of gotta decide what I want to pick next, because I did win the first set, or the first point. It's like I've got a little bit of a better chance of winning this set, but I don't want to pick my best ones right now, or maybe save them for set 2. Just to explain, you have like a pool of courses, and you can't pick the same course twice in the first 2 sets, or like in the 3rd and 4th set, for example. You have to kind of mix them up, and you also can't, even if your opponent picks a course, you can't pick that course in the same set. So it's you've got to make some decisions about when you actually pick the best courses for you. So as I said, I practice this a lot, but you know, practicing this for time trials is kind of different than for a one try. You know, you can go for riskier lines, and it certainly helps, but I did learn a lot of new techniques, putting in more mini turbos here. So I'm not sure it was beneficial for the one try, but I think in general, just like getting a PB, you know, makes you clean up some of your mini turbos, how long you're taking on everything too. So I'm a little bit behind here. First lap was okay, not great, 33.5. I'd usually consider like a 33.3 okay. Anything faster than that is good. Yeah. So. And then those are just some bad corners there. Just straight up bad. Let's see, so there's a rock that sort of falls here on lap 3. You can see we both get pretty close to it there. It's interesting because if you're going fast enough, you're kind of past it. If you're going slow enough, you don't have to worry about it, but it's that in-between spot where you can't get hit, and it was a lot closer than expected. So yeah, overall, just a real clean race by Parisian. You can see his PB's a little bit faster than me. I think a 1:40.22 is a time I can get. Not every time, but definitely had a chance to beat that with a little bit of cleaner driving, I think. That was disappointing because it's one of my stronger courses. That was my pick, and I didn't get the point there. The Moo Farm, you've got an opportunity here because it's so short. So there are moles on this course that are actually just completely random when they come out. And if you hit them, it will cost you like a good 2 seconds. For such a short course, I do have a chance on it, but I'm way out of practice. The ground's super weird and like not flat here. So exactly where you drive and what polygons are very important. and I just don't have that in my memory. So I'm trying to drive safe, but you see I hit them all anyway. Decide to burn one of my shrooms to get going again. Then I'm down a shroom as well, and know I'm already down time. You know, kind of my hope on this course is that the other person will hit the shroom. I'll play more conservatively and maybe take it out. But you can see I'm missing empties. I'm already out of shrooms. So, not feeling great about this. And at this point, if Parisian was watching, he'd probably know that you could just play it safe here and win. I don't believe he was watching my stream, I don't actually know. But I'm feeling like I'm behind, so let's see. But I apparently just decided to play it safe anyway. Yeah, after that first lap, I don't know that there was much I could do. And even if I had done 3 clean ones, I usually get like, if I get 25.5 3 times, that's pretty decent, so still probably would have clocked in at like 116.5. But even a good race there, I don't think would have matched his time. That's the thing in Mario Kart, the difference between players can kind of just come down to like tenths of a second per lap, but a lot of players are very consistent. So even if it's close in time, you need something additional in order to actually catch someone. So for this last one, I chose Sherbet Land. It looks like this is one I'm decently comfortable with. There's penguins there that can get in your way. I had been on a pace where I was mostly avoiding the penguins in practice before, so I chose this. But apparently this is also one of Parisian's best courses, so it might have been a little bit ill-advised, but of course, still an opportunity there. If I don't hit the penguin and he does, then that would probably save me, a couple of seconds, which I think would be enough on a course like this. The other risk on this course is you've got the ice cracks, so if you fall in, you get like frozen and you have to get picked up and thawed out. So it's just opportunities for mistakes. You'll make it through well a good percentage of the time, but even very good players will make mistakes and fall in sometimes, especially under the pressure of a one try. Let's see. Yeah, very close first lap. Difference of 0.04. So certainly feeling good about where I'm at this point. Just making it through cleanly, and then it all just went wrong there. Missed the penguin, got a bad turn, tried to go around, got snagged on another penguin, hit the wall, just couldn't get out of the cave. It was a disaster. At this point, the odds of me picking up this point are quite low. So Parisian, I'd say he just needs to get through here cleanly, but that's not even the case. If he hits a penguin, he's probably fine with how much additional time I lost there. And then I just basically waste my shroom by going straight into another penguin. Yeah, so a little bit of a disappointing first set there. Going down 4-1, some fairly sizable mistakes as well. When you get outraced, that's fine, but like, Uma Farm didn't go well, this didn't go well. Lost Jocko Mountain, just one of my better courses, but did start off with Koopa Troopa Beach win. So we have been alternating picks. Parisian's up 1-0 now, so the loser of the previous set gets first pick in the next set. So I'm currently deciding how I want to start off the second set, and I think what I'm thinking about here is if I want to do Bowser's Castle or not, because it's a course I'm generally comfortable with, and players can get caught on the thwomps, but I also didn't practice it at all this week, so was worried that I was more likely to make mistakes here, being out of practice. Seems, I don't know if I just took a while to decide that. I must have been thinking for a bit, but ended up finally deciding on Bowser's Castle. And yeah, I was just chatting with Parisian on text through Discord, so one player would say a course, other player would say ready, and then you would just count down 5 to 1 and both go. So Parisian gets a pretty clean start. Interesting. He uses 2 shrooms. Get a little bit of a snag there, not too bad. Both get pretty good staircases, which are harder than they look. You got the hard right turn, and then it's difficult to make those micro adjustments on the way down. So we're taking slightly different MT lines, but yeah, I'm ahead by 1/10 of a second here, so a very close race. And let's see. He chooses to go on the inside. I find going on the outside is it's a lot easier to keep your speed. Because going on the inside, you have to make a very sharp 90-degree turn. And you kind of do out on the outside as well, but you come in with a bit of an angle, so it's just much easier to preserve that speed around the corner, I find. So yeah, made up about 6/10, so by about 7/10 of a second going into lap 3, which is good but not incredible. You saw I was able to okay, so the thwomp cycle there, we were on a little bit of a different one. I was maybe a little bit too fast for that cycle to know what to do, and it slowed me down, so now we're pretty close again. But also on that 3rd lap in that room with the moving thwomps, okay, yeah, I won this course by less than 1/10, so this was a real close one. Felt good about that, and watching this I feel good because it's just weren't any major mistakes on either side. Really felt like I just outraced them. So that last room, or that last lap with the room with the moving thwomps, though, I got in a little bit faster than Parisian, so that outside thwomp is actually up, which allowed me to take a little bit of a better line there. So having that lead after the first 2 laps helped, but then in the next room with the sliding thwomps, I was not sure what cycle was going to be there exactly. Parisian chooses Banshee Boardwalk. This is kind of like a how fast can you drive course, but there's a lot of missing railings here, so it's small mistakes can make you fall off. Basically, it's a course where if we both do it cleanly, I'm probably at a disadvantage just because I'm not quite as skilled as Parisian, but there's certainly a lot of opportunities to make mistakes. Yeah, you see there, he went for the straight stretch mini turbo on that ending runway or whatever you call it, straight away. And I also went for it, but didn't get it, so he got a little bit of a speed boost and I did not. Yeah, that bat house is real tricky to race through. I think in my 1 lap PB, I do get 4 mini turbos around it, but it's very difficult to do that consistently. You've got to get fast mini turbos and get around with good angles to chain them together. And if you watch my screen, I can point out. So it's, you try to do 1, 2, 3 here, and 4. You can see that third one I just cut off early because I wasn't going to get it and just decided to set up for the last one. Yep, so pure racing, you can see, yeah, our last laps are pretty close, but he gained almost half a second on the first lap and then extended that lead just a little bit on laps 2 and 3. So just a little bit more consistency on his side. Don't mind too much because it's a course I actually think I have a better chance at winning. So the fact that he picked it instead of me lets me pick some of my other courses, but it would have been really nice if I could have stolen it. Yoshi Valley is one of my strongest courses, and basically there's these spinies here which are on a cycle, but you've got to know the cycle, and I whiffed on lap 1, which is pretty bad because it's generally the easiest lap, but Parisian fell, which is much worse than the just hitting the spinies. So, but I'm feeling like I'm probably behind here. You know, I spun out. First lap is fairly easy, and I decided just to risk it. Came very close to falling. You can see at this point, Parisian chooses to take the longer route. I think the shorter route with a spin out and the longer route without are about the same. But then he fell once more, which is unfortunate, and choosing to go the long way around rather than skip the hairpin. Ooh, fell a third time. Somehow managed to make it through on lap 3 despite not knowing the exact layout. Just sort of good intuition and guessing about where things were likely to be. It's a very bad bridge entrance. Yeah, so I'm pretty comfortable with this course, despite the spin-outs, which I wasn't too satisfied with. I feel pretty solid with that hairpin jump. This is actually the single lap on Yoshi Valley. Is the only God rank time I have, which is like the highest standard that we set in Mario Kart. Mario Kart has a 64, the community has a set of standards from newbie to God. So Yoshi Valley in general is my best course. It's pretty high variance with the spinies. It's very hard to get 3 clean laps. So that makes it a little bit less beneficial in a one-try format for me, but I feel pretty comfortable getting through the first 2 laps usually. Obviously, it didn't go quite to plan this time. But yeah, it was nice to be able to even it up 1-1 makes me feel like, okay, you know, I've got a chance to win this set and get right back into it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm up 1-2. That's right, because I won Bowser's Castle again. And then Parisian chose Sherbet Land, which he is allowed to do. Even though this is set 2 and I chose it in set 1, you can't choose the same course in sets 1 and 2. And you can't choose the same course your opponent chose in the same set. But you can choose it in subsequent sets, if that made sense. Basically, you just can't keep choosing the same sets in back-to-back sets for yourself, and the same course can't appear twice in the same set. So, it's kind of an edge case there. But, you know, totally makes sense. We apparently both felt comfortable enough to pick it. Let's see. 33.5. So I'm about a third of a second behind. Not too bad, but you can just see Parisian's comfort level and a little bit of straighter lines, it looks like, as he's coming through here. But, you know, I'm feeling good about the first lap, feeling like I can redeem myself, make it through cleanly on the second lap. So, this is going about as well as I expected, despite sort of a wonky exit. But I think I'm like a full second down at this point, just getting out-driven. It's pretty impressive to me. But my hope at this point is just to finish lap 3, hope that they make a mistake and get through it. You can see that didn't happen, which a little bit of a confidence blow there. But even if I had made it through, it wouldn't have mattered. So, yeah, sub 140 on a one try is quite good. You can see my PB's only a 139.16, so I would have had to have been within 0.8 of that. Haven't practiced as much recently at all, so I would have needed an exceptional run there. But now it is all tied up. I think I'm struggling at this point to decide what course I want to do, because I've already picked, or we've already played a lot of my top ones. You know, Yoshi Valley, Choco Mountain, Banshee Boardwalk, Bowser's Castle. So I ended up going with Frappe Snowland. It's not my most comfortable course, but there's some snowmen here. There's a big jump near the end of each lap, and it is possible to screw that up fairly badly, so I figured I'd have a chance. I'm just gonna pause this for a second, see if we can get that more synced. Yeah, pretty much. I might be a couple of tenths ahead on the timer. So maybe trimmed late there. Yeah, that's basically exactly what I was trying to avoid, but also trying to be aggressive enough so that if he did make mistakes, I could capitalize from them. That's almost, 3 seconds down, just after the first lap. You know, I'm not feeling great about my odds here, but if you think you're down, you really should just go aggressive and see if you can improve things. And that was pretty disappointing there. I made it past the snowman fine. had a decent jump and then just got a tire snagged in the wall. Which is maybe just a little bit of inexperience on this level, not knowing how important it is to avoid that. So, pretty far behind at this point. Ooh, that was a good snowman dodge. I landed on the backside of the hill, which was your momentum. So, none of my 3 laps are very clean, unfortunately. Whereas Parisian had a very good run, in my opinion. At least looked clean. I was a little distracted watching my own, but splits are quite consistent there. And hard to match your PBs in this because you get aggressive on the jumps if you're going for a PB. But yeah, within 2 seconds. Pretty strong run. So there's also a thing where you can choose once per match to race either a shortcut or a single lap of a course. And I was considering whether I had done that, whether I should have done that. Here, shortcuts are, I feel like, higher variance, but which might have helped me, especially if I wasn't too confident in Frappe Snowland. But also, I'm not too confident in my shortcuts recently, so it was kind of like, what's my best choice here? Because I didn't feel like I had a great choice, so going for my best one. Mario Raceway, this is the first time I've faced this now one try, and there's a big mushroom in this course that you can cut in between the wall and the shroom on. I find it saves you like maybe 0.3 of a second, but it's pretty risky. I was trying to decide whether I should go for it or not, because if Parisian's not going for it, I probably should, because I'll get outdriven otherwise. But if he is going for it, I probably shouldn't, because he could mess up and I would benefit. I used my shroom in the wrong spot there. I'm just a little bit too early. So he gained like 0.4 there. I tried to get through here this lap. You can see it didn't work, and that's the risk there. As I said, I wasn't feeling too comfortable, but kind of felt like I probably needed to take a risk. I've seen a lot of people do this driving through the grass at the end. I've tried it a couple times. Sometimes I just hit the wall. I find that even when I do succeed, it doesn't gain me much time over just going around. You can see I made it through the wall, the gap there that time though. But yeah, I'm probably just doing the drive through the grass wrong at the end, which is why it's not saving me time. But, you know, until I get some time to focus on this course and figure out how to do that better, I'm just going to keep going around that last corner, because it's not worth a not insignificant chance of like bonking a wall or taking the wrong line and driving off road a bunch just to save minimal time. But I am down 2-0 at this point. Not feeling fantastic. You know, I've gotten a couple wins here. I've had some okay runs, but you know, it wasn't as good as my match last week. Last week, my first 2 sets I did lose, but I think they were 4-2 and 4-3. And these were like 4-1 and 4-2. So, you know, not even forcing a game 7 in either set. Decided just to go back to Bowser's Castle. Figured, so the pools reset after set 2, so figured why not Go back to a course I won. And even though it was very close, didn't win very many. Yeah, so that was a rough start, hitting the swamp, and then of course that throws you off your cycles. You don't quite know what to expect there. Try to actually remember what happens the rest of this run. But clean first lap by Parisian, 39 seconds. Maybe it wasn't totally clean, but anyway, still a 2-second lead for me, or on me. So I thought the cycles would be messed up. I didn't know if that. I thought the outside swamp there would be down and the inside one up, which is why I tried to go in for that inside line, but turned out not to be the case and ended up, I think, probably just costing me time over going my normal strategy there. So let's see, 38.50, that's pretty decent. Yeah, we had pretty even lap twos. He gained 300ths on me there. And he gets a little bit of a bonk, but not as bad as mine. Gets some clean swamps. Okay, I'm assuming he wins this one. I don't actually remember. But he's got a pretty solid lead, and you can't lose that much time here. Unless you're like me in my first match where I somehow drove into the lava. Okay, I made up a second? Yeah, I made up 1.3 seconds on that lap 3. So, clean first lap would have done it. They would have saved me 2.5 seconds or so. Yeah, so really a missed opportunity there. And back to DK Jungle's Parkway, which, again, I am just not terribly comfortable with. It is... there's a lot of very specific things and unique things about DK Jungle Parkway compared to other courses. It's a little bit similar to Moo Farm in that you have some uneven ground, and just unique features here. You can see my first jump was very, very conservative. Ran into a tree as well. Yeah, you're not that far off going into the jump, but you can see I'm already like multiple seconds behind. And it's just, I tried practicing this for the one try, and if I was going to be more aggressive, it would just cause me to fall into the water. So I'm just not that consistent coming off the jump, which unfortunately is a very important part of this course. That spiral is not very good there for me. That jump was decent though. But then I somehow hit both the trees. Yeah, so I know this run's not going too well for me. But I did beat Ashley last match in one of the runs on DK Jungle Parkway, despite it being her strongest course, because she got very aggressive with the spiral jump and just barely missed landing it. So that's my main hope here. But no such luck this time. Parisian does a nice jump. And then, yeah, I just run into the wall there, get stuck a bit. You can see just overall, not great. This is strange. I feel like our games are maybe running at slightly different speeds. That was strange, because I thought we were synced up, but we ended up several seconds off. Although, there can be lag on DK's Jungle Parkway, so there were enough oddities going on that that might explain it. And just note, everything's based on in-game time, which I'm pretty sure is just based on number of frames. So the game can lag sometimes and cause the frames to load slower. It's, in any case, that doesn't negatively affect your time. You don't have to do lag reduction strategies or anything like that. It's just easier if you have a consistent frame rate. I'm taking a moment to think here because it's 2 sets all. If I lose my pick and then lose the next pick, then it's over. So this is potentially my last pick, and I kind of just want to try something different. That is to go for DK Jungle Parkway's shortcut. I hadn't practiced this the past week, but I'd done it the previous week and I was feeling okay about it. And then immediately missed the first one and feeling a lot less okay about it. I of course couldn't see what Parisian's doing, but then he and I make very similar mistakes going out into the course. He tried for the shortcut there, but didn't get far enough into the wall to get it. You can tell he's checking his course map to see whether he skipped. He did not. Looks like I tried again. I did get one of the earlier ones, but yeah. Usually I would hope to be like finished by that now. So just being on lap 2, I'm not feeling very good about my chances, although turns out I'm ahead. At this point, see, I missed right there. At this point, I'm wondering if I should just check to see if he's finished, but I decide, no, I'm just gonna finish. You never know what's gonna happen if it's close. You don't wanna waste time checking on your opponent's progress. Just do as well as you can. So I'm, finally finishing about triple the times I would like, and I don't know if Parisian is a shortcut player or if he, like me, also focuses mainly on non-shortcuts, and there's certainly a few that I'm more comfortable with. So you can see he DNF'd. I told him that I had finished, so he didn't see the need to finish it out, which makes total sense. So the fact that I won it, even though it was not the cleanest fashion, means that I will at least get one more pick, which is nice. Yeah, because he just needs 2 to win it. And he goes back to Moo Farm. And I am feeling the pressure. I've lost basically all my Moo Farm races in both matches. And I'm just deciding, okay, let's just go aggressive. Let's just see if I can pull something off, I think was my mindset going in here. Because playing conservatively on Moo Farm had not worked for me. So I start and then accidentally use up a shroom. And I'm like, well, great, already down a shroom. I don't super know the lines well here. Somehow make it through. Use a shroom. Almost got under that mole. But yeah, not feeling great. Missed shroom and a mole hit already. But, you know, at this point I basically have to hope my opponent has hit a shroom as well and then try to make up time. So that's what I did there. Worked okay on lap 2. Though I still got like a 25-50, so I don't really know that this approach even really saved me time going through the moles because I don't know the lines super well there. Going around might have been just as good. And then chooses to play safe around the last set of moles. I try to be aggressive again, but yeah, as I said, even a good run for me is, you know, like 116.5, so I would have needed something exceptional there in order to win. But I'm feeling the pressure again. It's match point now. I need to win 3 courses in a row in order to stay alive. And I think that's what I'm just thinking about here is, you know, what gives me the best opportunity. It is set 3, so most of my courses are still available. But just trying to think it through, see if maybe I should use my fast lap joker, but I ended up deciding just to go back to Yoshi Valley because I wanted it pretty handily the first time we went, and even though it's a little bit risky, it's probably my best chance to win a course. So so he spins out immediately, and then a second time. I didn't get a great slide up the hill, but my goal is just to basically get through this without really crashing. And you can see I've got a strong lead here. That's like, I don't know this, but this possibility is kind of what's built into my strategy of I feel comfortable doing 2 sets of moles, whereas I think most people only feel comfortable doing 1, which gives me like a 1.5 second advantage. And even if they're better drivers, that puts them under some pressure, so they have to actually execute. I think we did see Ashley beat me going only 1 set of moles when I got caught up on a fence as well. But it puts... I'm good enough at this course to put pressure on higher ranked players, and that can make them make mistakes. So, you know, it's like, I'm not too likely to win this by a 10th or anything, but it's enough of a possibility that if I play it cleanly, basically you don't have to be super aggressive on all your MTs, because it's basically just like whichever player gets through the whole thing better, because mistakes will generally cost you, but you do have to be very precise on the hairpin jump and the spinies, because those can cost you quite a bit if you make mistakes there. So I won that quite handily, which is nice. I'm not sure what I would do, I think, if I won this next pick. Again, hard to really decide which courses to go for when. You get back to Mario Raceway, and again have to decide whether or not I want to go through this room or not, this room gap. The thing is, I'm really not feeling comfortable with it. I'm a second or two ahead. So I end up deciding not to, just because there's a pretty big risk of a mistake there. You know, maybe that's a poor decision. I don't know. You know, I'm basically gambling that I can beat my opponent on racing. If I'm not confident on that, then gambling on getting through the gap is maybe better. Hard to say. We seem pretty even heading in there. Maybe that was an illusion. He gained another 10th there. I think he was 3/10 up after lap 1. So about 4/10 up altogether. A little bit of a grass touch there. Clean around the wall. Overall, pretty decent, I think, for me. It did look like he was gaining a few tenths on that grass turn, so it's probably something I need to learn, but yeah, that's 4-2 on the set and 3 sets to him, so that is the match. Very well played by my opponent there, just clean driving all around. You know, I'm not, you know, I'm feeling decent about how I played. I certainly made the mistakes I feel like I shouldn't have, but it's hard to play consistently at a decent level, especially when you've got the pressure against these opponents and, you know, a little bit of nerves from the one try. You know, I think I could have taken like another Bowser's Castle and maybe something else there, but all in all, Parisian played very consistently, and other than Yoshi Valley, but I mean, there just weren't enough mistakes I felt like to capitalize on. Just, you know, need to keep practicing, need to keep de-rusting, and was the underdog heading in. So taking a few courses off is decent. Didn't do quite as well as my first match, but overall, fairly happy with my performance. We were both playing at 9 a.m. this morning, had to get up early because I could potentially be called for work today, and am on call where I'm a software engineer, so long story short, I can get paid for work. So I needed to have this match over by 11 a.m. and Parisian was very accommodating on the time, which was nice. But yeah, overall, good match. I don't know if I'm going to be doing another one of these. I think they generally get restreamed, so maybe I'll see if I can post links or like recordings of other restreams of my matches as well. Okay, thanks.